Hi, good morning, Chibrina. This is Scott Hunsiker with Coldwell Banker Preferred. Hey, you had sent me an email and we're looking for some additional information on 2334 Chestnut Street in Chester, PA. Um, if you look in the upper left-hand corner here, you'll see the purple on the number. That means that this was actually withdrawn, the WTH. So this property has been on and off of the market actually several times. So if we take a look, it was on at 150,000 at one time, and that was back in, well, let's see, 2007, and taken off. So it was on the market for like 46 days there. It was on again at 120,000 and withdrawn as well, and that was back in 2013, and it was actually marketed for 199 days at that time. So now here we are in 2015, and it's back on the market at $110,000. So it's been on the market several times. Currently, there's no seller's disclosure in here. Just taking a quick look, none in there either, and none in there. So they have not filled out and put a seller's disclosure online to, give you additional information about, things that may have happened to the property. Um, so essentially, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, mixed use duplex with storefront. This property was formerly used as a flower shop and a furniture store in the first floor commercial area. Well, let's take a look at this here a second and just see if it's zoned residential. So that would have probably been, it might have been a non-conforming use, but we'll have to take a look at public records here to get a better idea. So and talk about a spacious living area, eating kitchen, living room, upstairs. There are 3 large bedrooms, all with original hardwood flooring. Well, that's nice. This property has a lot of space and has a lot of potential. Please be advised to check with the City of Chester Zoning Department for variance information for commercial operation. There's the standard disclosure that says, hey, listen, the owner, really hasn't gotten it. It's not zoned for commercial, but you should be able to get a variance, or you might be able to apply for a variance. So, that's it. The owner is motivated to sell across the street from Chester Wallingford border. Make an offer. Okay, so they're looking for, okay, let's get rid of this thing. Make an offer. Tell me what you're willing to pay for it, type of deal. So that's what they're trying to call for there, because I guess somebody's getting a little frustrated. So even at this price, well, $120,000 is what they put it on the market for. That was the original price, OPR. And latest marketing date 5/22/2005. So let's see here a second. The history, we'll take a look at that just briefly to see when they dropped it from the 120,000 down to the $110,000. So current listing 120. It looks like 5/22 is when they dropped it. So May 22nd they dropped it to 110,000. We're now at the end of June, so that's 4 or 5 weeks later. Still no offers. So you said you mentioned you went through this on an open house. Just curious what you thought of it when you saw it. Let's take a look at public records here too. So go ahead and slide this over so you can see a little bit better. Public records, Stephen Conway. So you can see here this has been on and off the market a lot. So it expired even back in 2005. They were trying to sell it for a lot more. 2007, 150, 2013, 120. Kept trying to stick with 120. Somebody finally convinced them to try and come down to 110,000 to move it. Still no go. So square footage, this is the lot, so 5,271 square feet or 0.12 acres. 2-story, 44 by 120. Again, residential, so we know that. The annual taxes, $451. That seems awfully low, but interesting. And ownership interest and whether or not they had loans. So 2006, 2007. So it does look like at one point it was actually sold. Sale amount was 110,000. So now they're back down to that 110,000 amount that they had sold previously. there was a mortgage put on it for the full $110,000. So they've been paying this off since about, let's see, 2006. Now that's interesting. It wasn't recorded for like 6 months, which is very unusual. Interest rate is like 9.55%. That's hard money. Holy mackerel, that's a high interest rate. So it must have been like a commercial loan or something like that. No, it's conventional. Oh, adjustable rate mortgage, which really went up. So, I can sort of do the calculations and figure out how much of this is paid off. They got some equity built up in it here since they've been paying for about 8 years. So I just switched over here to my reports for valuation. The RVM is a realtor's valuation model. It's very similar to what's called the AVM, or automatic valuation model, which the banks use, but they use it for their package of mortgages. So in other words, if they've basically had 20 or 30 people put together a mortgage, they sell those on the secondary market, and when they do that, they have to sort of generate an estimate of what the homes are worth in that package of mortgages that are being resold, and that's called the AVM. The RVM is very similar to that in that it does an automated valuation. So what they do is first do an average of what they feel that RVM would be, and they also give us a range here. So they're looking at a realtor's valuation model estimated range of 103,000 to 128,000. So in terms of value, and then they give it a confidence index. So this is a 4-star confidence index, which means they're fairly confident. 5 stars would be the absolute best. So take a look at the RVM change last 1 month. It's actually increased in value a little bit, $1,260 over a 1 month period of time. That's based on a lot of other comps, being bought and sold in the area. Last 12 months, like about 0.5%. So anyway, that's the details they give us there. I can actually, if you've seen this inside, tell me a little bit about the condition. You can actually go in here and I can actually make some refinements here. So, I can go in and adjust local market conditions. So for the Chester area, they're a little bit depressed, in terms of moving those homes. There's a lot of inventory. Home exterior condition, maybe average, maybe a little less than average. You can see when you start making these adjustments. The interior condition, I have no idea, but I'm sure you do from the open house. Lot size, it's pretty average for that size home. Privacy, well, it's not really all that private, so you might be looking at a little bit of a revision there. So that would be a refined value. So 109,666 comes in pretty close to the 110,000. Anyway, that's a quick update on 2334 Chestnut Street in Chester, PA 19013. You have any other questions, give me a call, 484-945-3140. Take care. Have a great day.